Do you park under that shady tree? That shade can cost you a set of wheels. Sap and droppings break down wheel finishes, and once they breach the coating, corrosion accelerates. In this video, we'll rank the highest risk parking zones, trees, construction edges, and tight corners, and show you how brake dust turns into a glue-like film that ruins alloys if you skip a simple monthly clean. Watch on to learn where to park instead, how to spot early wheel damage, and the 2 protective add-ons that change your odds overnight without breaking the bank. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Ever notice how that spotless car under a leafy canopy ends up with blotchy, brown-stained wheels a week later? That's not bad luck. When you park, you're exposing your wheels to a mix of sap, droppings, grit, and overnight moisture that creep into the finish and start real damage. Wheels sit inches from the worst of it, and they don't have the same protection as your body panels. Clear coat on wheels runs thinner, heats up from braking, and becomes a landing pad for everything floating or falling. So while your paint gets the wash, your wheels quietly take the hit. Shade feels like a win on a hot day, but certain trees drip a sugary, acidic film that doesn't stay liquid for long. It cures. Bird droppings carry uric acid that eats through protection faster than you think. You don't see the damage at first because the chemical bite starts below the surface. The top still looks glossy for a while. Underneath, the acids etch channels into the clear coat, and that's where trouble takes hold. One rain, one damp morning, and moisture sits right in those channels. Here's how it escalates. Sap and droppings harden, then bond to the clear. When you finally scrub, the residue pulls at the coating and leaves tiny pits behind. Those pits trap water and winter road salt. On alloy wheels, that combo speeds up oxidation. You start to see filmy gray spots, then white, chalky blooms that don't wipe off. That's corrosion spreading from a pinhole you can barely see. Leave it, and it creeps under the clear like a stain under glass, lifting the finish and creating flakes. Consumer Reports has long noted that avoiding tree-lined parking reduces sticky cleanup and helps preserve exterior finishes. The same logic applies to wheels, which often get ignored because we focus on hood and roof glare. Every day you park outside that drip line is one less round of bonded contaminants baking onto a hot rim. And it's not only what falls from above. Road grit blasted up by passing traffic lands low and sticks to brake-warmed surfaces. Mix in dew or fog overnight and you get a paste that grinds into the clear coat by morning. The spot you choose at the curb can also set you up for chips you won't notice until corrosion blooms. That easy corner space with the wide exit path? It puts your wheels in the exact arc where turning trucks and long SUVs swing wide. One light brush from a sidewall or plastic trim is all it takes to nick a wheel coating. That tiny break opens the finish to moisture, and the next week of rain does the rest. You think you escaped with no damage, but a month later there's a blister near the spoke. Construction zones add a different kind of fallout. Concrete dust, tiny metal fragments, and fine silica ride the breeze and settle on your wheels and tires. Silica and cement particles behave like ultra-fine sandpaper when you drive off. They dig micro-scratches into the clear coat and wedge into tire sidewalls. Those grains don't just rinse away, they embed. Over time, that roughened rubber flexes and heats, and a small shard can become the weak point that turns a pothole hit into a puncture. Lighting matters too. Bright, open mid-block spaces with cameras or foot traffic lower the odds of someone kicking a valve stem, stealing caps, or keying a face. Dim corners and dead ends invite quick, opportunistic damage because nobody can see it happen. So give yourself an edge. Favor open, well-lit spots away from tree drip lines and construction edges. Fold your mirrors, hang a bumper guard, and leave a small curb buffer to cut the chance of a strike. You've dodged the obvious enemies. Now tackle the silent one that keeps working even when the car never moves. Brake dust. If you never curb a rim, can your wheels still corrode? Yes, and the culprit is your own braking. Every stop sheds a cloud of tiny fragments that don't blow away. They land hot, stick, and start chemistry you won't notice until the finish dulls and speckles show under the clear coat. That's why a spotless body panel next to brown, rough wheelbarrows is so common. Brake dust isn't just dirt. It's a mix of iron from rotors, carbon, and sticky resins from pads. These particles leave the caliper scorching hot, hit the wheel face, and cool in place. As they cool, some of the iron bonds to the clear coat. Normal soap won't break that bond. When moisture or winter salt joins the party, the iron reacts and you get rust blooms spreading under the clear. The surface may feel gritty, and the sheen turns patchy even after a wash. That's baked-on dust working its way toward the alloy. Most drivers wash the paint and skip the wheels until they look bad. That delay is exactly what lets dust embed. A week of commuting can build a film that forms a grinding compound with dew or drizzle. During a drive, the wheel heats, softening the clear coat just enough for particles to set deeper. Park overnight, and moisture sits in place, helping the reaction move along. By the time you notice, the texture feels pitted, and aggressive scrubbing just scours more of the finish. Your tires can set the stage for damage even while parked. Low pressure flattens the contact patch, bending the sidewall and distorting the bead area where tire meets rim. That flex creates tiny stress lines and micro cracks in the rubber near the bead. Those grooves trap brake dust and hold moisture against the rim lip, which is bare aluminum on many wheels. Now you've got iron, water, and oxygen tucked into a seal line that should stay clean and tight. Leave it low, and the seal degrades. Air seeps out faster, and corrosion creeps outward. Performance Plus Tire advises checking pressure monthly and avoiding over or underinflation to reduce heat, rim stress, and future bending risk. They note tires can lose pressure gradually in normal conditions, and the dash light waits until you're well below target. Cold checks keep readings honest. Keeping pressures in spec restores the tire's cushion, protects the rim edge from sharp hits, and eases the load that bends lips and warps wheels. There's another silent stressor: lug torque. Shops love impact guns because they're fast, but too much torque can warp the wheel's mounting pad and stretch studs. You won't see that on day one. You'll feel it later as a highway vibration or a brake pulsation that won't balance out. Threads can gall, studs can weaken, and the wheel may never seat perfectly again. A calibrated torque wrench set to the spec in your manual and a star pattern takes a minute and prevents those invisible strains. Recheck after a short drive cycle so everything settles evenly. So what's the routine that keeps wheels out of trouble? Once a month, hit them first, not last. Use a pH-balanced wheel cleaner so you don't strip the finish, then work a soft brush into the barrels and behind the spokes where dust bakes hardest. Rinse well. Every third or fourth month, add an iron remover to dissolve embedded particles you can't see. After the clean, lay down a light protectant or a quick ceramic spray on the face and barrels. It won't make wheels bulletproof, but it slows bonding and makes the next wash much easier. Frequent, gentle cleans do more than rare, harsh scrubs that chew up clear coat. Do this 15-minute routine, keep pressure on spec, and torque lugs correctly, and you'll see fewer vibrations, less peeling finish, and lower wheel costs down the road. Now that you've defused the contactless enemies, let's spot the early tells before small problems turn into a pricey wheel and tire day. Parking is risk management. Move a few feet from drip lines, dust piles, and construction edges, and pair that with a 15-minute monthly wheel routine. Clean with a pH-safe product. Rinse thoroughly, lay down a light protectant, and you cut hidden damage before it starts. On your next park, scan for overhead branches, fresh debris, and tight turning paths. Leave room from the curb, then cold check tire pressure, verify lug torque, and schedule that quick wheel clean this week. Stay curious. Watch for steady air loss, a new vibration, or uneven wear. Act early, protect safety and resale, and keep your wheels working for you.